they pull a nigga over, I might take another L. I ain't really been the same since they killed my nigga Lil. Ride with a ghost, 40K shit, get real. No phone, no Twitter, no gram, just feel. Posted in the trap, tell niggas EPD. Call of Duty, only niggas now.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Emerson Aguilar. How you guys doing today? We got here today a special guest, DJ Swig. Clap it up.
Yes, sir.
We got DJ Swig today. How are you, man?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all having me out.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate for you coming, dude. We see that you're busy, and that's a really work ethic that we're looking for and trying to bring people on and just talk about your journey and what you do. Yep. And we're just excited to get to know more about you and let the audience get to know a little bit more about you. Sure. And just share your story. So tell us.
Yeah, for the audience that doesn't know, like, what do you do? Because obviously you DJ.
Right.
So how did that start, or when did you start DJing?
Okay. So I am DJ Swig. I have been DJing since I was 9 years old. I didn't get out and start playing shows until about 2018, 2019. From there, just a journey of basically from when I started DJing to when I started playing shows, was realizing the market and the potential that I had, and then from there just focusing on not being complacent, trying to find the next step, that next big thing I can do, like not getting in one spot or getting into one niche of DJing, just continuing to grow, network, and expand. Yeah. So from there, it's been a hell of a journey.
Do you have a family member or something that's like a DJ or anything like
honestly, that? Yeah. So I got a couple of DJs in my family. My brother, my older brother, he was a DJ, but at a different time, and he stopped DJing before I started, and that is exactly how it started.
Okay.
Because his equipment was there. So
okay.
I was the meddler of me and my brother. That's my age. I got a brother that's 2 years older than the brother I'm talking about. He's got about 7 years on me, so he stopped DJing at a whole different time. But like I said, I was a meddler, so I got into the equipment, and I was really trial and error, like turntables and mixers, headphones, all sort of stuff, and I had no idea how it works. And I probably messed it up a little bit thinking back, but I did find out, like, eventually I found it out and started figuring stuff out, and that became like a kind of hobby for me.
When you say you like figured it out, was it like watching videos or how was that for you?
A lot of it was really like trial and error at first, because that was, like I said, I was 9 at the time, and I mean, YouTube was a thing and all, but the internet wasn't as prominent as it is now. It's like fingertips. So I was definitely, had to go to the family computer to get answers. But his stuff was like downstairs. So it was 2 separate places. So really a lot of it was literally messing with stuff until like I figured something out. Until you get what you're trying to achieve. And literally from like plugging stuff in and like literally to the start to even getting sound produced, that took me probably a few days of like going down there for a couple hours and trying to mess with stuff and make stuff happen. But just kind of step up from there, and then when I realized what it is, then it was kind of getting videos to kind of understand what I'm doing.
Okay.
Do you still have your first like?
No. I wish it would be great if I did, but.
Wait, so do you make? Okay, so explain DJing for me, because I don't really.
Right. For the audience too.
Okay, now definitely. So with DJing in itself is definitely an art. That's number one thing, and there's so many routes that you can take that. So when it comes to DJing, which translates to disc jockey, which comes to playing music, and that's the main part of it. So a lot of DJs in a lot of different aspects are the music players. And I want to say, you're playing in front of somebody, you're playing for somebody, but it's not even all the time, because you have radio DJs, you have like mixed DJs, you got Twitch DJs, internet DJs.
You do that?
I dabbled in it, and that is 100% in the plans in the future. I just had a conversation with a homeboy about this earlier today, and he was like, he watches Twitch DJs all the time. He's like, bro, that's something you really need to get into.
Oh yeah.
And I have, there's no reason why I can't. So that's the reason why I definitely want to get back into trying stuff like that. I used to kind of dabble in like the lives, Instagram lives, Facebook live, but they're real strict on like copyright, so
gotcha.
You'll get cut off.
So what type of DJ are you? What do you be categorized? I guess.
I hate boxes. I won't put myself in a box, but I'm definitely mobile DJ is kind of what you quote unquote consider it, because I'm more than likely the type that like goes to a private event or a wedding and does something. I'm setting up my sound, so like mobile DJs is kind of the all around, like the hands-on, because you got to go to where it's not necessarily a club or not a place where music maybe plays. So I'm setting up speaker poles, speakers, my equipment, lighting, setting up decor, like making a whole set, DJing for that time, and then breaking that set down. So that's a lot of like my events and gigs now. Club DJ is also in there, and that's easier because it's just the playing part. A lot of the clubs, they have the sound system in there. They got a lot of clubs have equipment for you. Sometimes you just need your laptop, and I bring my controller, my vinyls everywhere I go. So like using my own stuff, most people do, but they have it if you don't. So that's the easier thing. Okay. And then
So what is that like? You said I know we saw your stories and your Instagram. So I see that sometimes you do weddings, and like how you said sometimes you do clubs or whatever. So how does that work when you're, I guess, planning? Like how does that work? Because for some, do you already have a mix all mixed together, or how does that go about everything?
So I mean, I have mixes, but I try to you don't want to use a mix in a live setting. If you do, make sure it's yours. That's the general rule of thumb. It's a big no, frowned upon using someone else's mix as your own. But like in different situations, like a pinch for time, like if you're kind of setting up still or something, you can throw a mix on while you're setting up, or like the beginning of a function, say a party you're playing and no one's there. There's no need to sit back there and like be DJing for nobody. So you throw a mix on. That's an hour, a couple hours. So that's definitely good. But when it comes to like my events, like the different things I do, I really take pride in like the actual like fundamentals of DJing. It's like I used to when I first started playing shows and parties, weddings, of course. I mean, at first I literally scripted. Like I was like, okay, it's this much time in the event, so I need this much music to get me from the start to the end. So I need to calculate how much time, and I need to put every song, and I put them in the exact order, and you fail miserably doing that. That's terrible. You would think, it sounds like a cool idea, but reading an audience and stuff like that doesn't work well with the script, because you can I can imagine what this party, what this event's going to be like in my head, but getting there and working it is going to be completely different. So from there, I went from, like complete script, beginning to end. I went from there to kind of just making like general crates, is what you call them, DJing. It's like, here at this event, here is a lump sum of songs I play. So it'll be probably 3 times the amount of music than the event. So like a 4-hour event is probably like 12 hours worth of music. But this is all potentially good music to play in this setting. So now I'm allowing myself to read the audience, get creative, but I'm still in a controlled part of my library. Because another thing with just DJing in general is having a lot of variety, so you can be versatile. So like I have an immense library. I was the other day.
What's your 3 top most played songs that you think?
Serato tells you that my software will tell you right now. My top 3 songs played for me are "Not a Stain on Me" by Big Tuck. It just goes everywhere. It's kind of a Kansas City thing, I would say too, because everybody in Kansas City knows that. "Act Up" by City Girls. I think I don't know how it got to top play, but it is definitely in that top. I know those are my top 2. The third one, I'd have to look, but those are top 2. And I think the City Girls just happened because when that song was hot, it was hot, and it's not like it's not hot now. So like events, parties, it's probably gonna come up, and it's like it's a lot of good places. But it got to the top 2.
You ever hosted for a Mexican party?
I actually have. It was a
quinceañera?
woman's. No, I've never done the quinceañera, honestly.
I bet that playlist go crazy.
It wasn't, and there's actually a crazy story with this. It was a woman who was graduating from barber school.
Okay.
So she was a Mexican woman. She was graduating from barber school, and it was her birthday, like in the same weekend. So she's like, huge thing. So it's a graduation party and her birthday together.
For your graduation, she's in barber school.
She was
too.
like, okay, yeah, all the same. But she's like, it's the barber school thing. So she has the people from the barber school, like the teachers, the other barbers. She has her whole family. Like, it's deep. And she's like, it's gonna be people around just Kansas City. So that kind of music, just do your thing. She's like, my people and stuff. We like the Mexican stuff, and she introduced me. It's called cumbia.
Yeah,
cumbia. And I was like, oh, cumbia, cool. I didn't know how to pronounce that, but she was like, she want to hear that. I'm like, I'm honest, never heard it, never worked with it, but I trust myself and I know that I can. And we was like a month out anyway, so I was like, send me like 5 songs. That's all. Just send me like 5 songs. She sent me 5 songs. And I was like, cool. So I listened to them, and I was like, all right.
You already know what those top 5 probably are.
Like, and I was like, cool. So that's the vibe. So I just try to basically find music that mix well with it. More stuff like that, kind of, and then just the diversity of that allows you to really get outside of your box too. So it's like, I got to play, some like kind of Afro beats, some like Caribbean stuff that just people are just. That kind of flows well between that and like the hip hop R&B stuff that she wants here too. So they're really expanded. That's going back to like bringing it into an art. It's opportunities to be creative. It's opportunities to make stuff your own, and that's really what DJing comes back to. That's why like the start of it is really it's deep.
Have you ever had anybody like where you had to buy new equipment because someone like was so lit that they kind of like broke something or threw up on something or anything like that?
I'm conscious. I'm really conscious about that. So first of all, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. Like that's any DJ will tell you, any decent DJ will tell you, like on top of reading the room, just be aware of your surroundings. Like if you're in a club or you're at like a party, it's a lot of liquor moving around, people are drunk. Be aware of that. So like if somebody comes up to you with a request or something, they're probably gonna be lit. So know that off top. Or if like you're in a club, you know what city you're in, and if it's kind of a hostile environment, you gotta think about that in your set too. If you're at a wedding, I think things are great because weddings 9 times out of 10, everybody's in really good spirits, good moods. They just got married. What are you mad about? So, but like in a club, like somebody liquor and stuff, cups, any cups around equipment. It scares me. It's like it's like if you had like a toaster or something hanging above a bathtub. Like I'm staring at it. So like anyone comes up to me with liquor and I know you're lit, I stop them. Like I stop them before I meet them. I'll like meet them outside of the booth. They're coming around and I know they get to lean in and looking at it over and over. That scares me way too much. So like I'll meet them outside of the booth, try to talk to them out there.
So you do really take requests then?
That's a controversial subject, request taking.
Do you like requests?
No. No DJs like requests. I will say, you'll get the small percentage of time. I've been put on the request, and I'm sure everybody can say that, but like requests and all, I never heard that, but I'm gonna go listen to it. I listen to it, and it's like fire, like it fit perfectly. But requests, you're gonna get a variety of different takes on that, talking to different DJs. I know some DJs will like flat out know they're just not taking requests, and it's a thing. It's a popular thing. Some DJs, they're not taking requests for free, and you got to tip them, or they got the number in their head, the number in their head, and like you're paying them that, or the request not playing. Some DJs are like really open to them, like they want to hear what you want to hear. They want to at least consider what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So like that, but it's a lot. No one thinks about it, but it's kind of the like politeness and the manners that go on a request. Like if we're a DJ, I'm doing this like I'm a real DJ, so like I know how to mix, I know what I'm doing. Like I'm putting a set together for this whole event. Like you gotta trust the DJ. Now if the DJ's just not good and it's not fitting, bomb a request, get it to where it's. And if a DJ gets bomb requests, you're probably doing something wrong. Like people are gonna request regardless. It's not gonna be a thing. But like if you're getting bombarded through the whole night.
Yeah.
People requesting is usually like, I'm not enjoying what's playing now. Now the request really is just I want to hear this. This is the one song. It may not mean anything bad, but like you're getting boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You're probably like playing in the wrong genre, wrong time set. Something's wrong. That's my opinion.
How do you figure out the switch from like, let's say a Taylor Swift song to like a City Girl? Like, how do you know? Because they do like the, you know, the
scratching.
Yeah. Or how do you
go right back to like just the creativity? It's a lot of different, and I like, you know, practicing is important too as a DJ. Like you shouldn't just be playing in your sets unless you know full time and playing 7 days a week. More power to you. And you kind of practice in your gig. Kind of how that rolls. But really practicing really puts you onto that because it's a lot of different like techniques as a DJ to get from song to song, and that's really what it comes to is like surfing from song to song. Like I have a lot of analogies of how I kind of think of things as a DJ. So like one thing I always consider like DJing a full set, like a full event. Like consider it like surfing. Like of course you're gonna start on land and you want to rise up. Like I'm not gonna walk into a venue, plug up, sound check, and like boom, hottest track of the night. Like that's what are you doing? So like you want to build up and whatever that event may be. A lot of times like parties are like something where you're gonna be having fun by the end of the night, and that's, you know, most events, but not all. But you want to build up into that, and then you want to ride that wave, ride it, keep it how you want it, and really be in control. And then when you're ready, settle things down for the night, probably the last 30 minutes, last whatever, kind of slow things down, and then get things into a halt and get everybody out the door. Like you really have to be in control of that. Like a DJ is really like a battery of an event. That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Never thought about it like that, but dang, that's a good analogy.
It's time. It's like over time you learn a lot of things, and being a student in general, like, I mean, outside of DJing, just whatever you're doing, maybe like being a student of it is so important. Like, of course, I'm not DJ since I was 9, so it's a lot of stuff you'll tell me, like, oh, I know, but I've never been like the cocky, you can't tell me nothing, or I can't learn nothing, or it's nothing new. Like, that's when you'll get beat up trying to, not really, but like you'll get beat up in your industry, thinking, okay, I did everything I can do. When it's like, if you're at that point, you should stop. Like, if you think you did everything you should do, or like you really like hit the prime of your industry or doing, like, find something else to do. Hang it up. Like, if I think I'm the best DJ in the world, probably I'll be like, okay, I should probably stop DJing now. I did it all. So until you get there, then you just keep chasing that in your industry.
So going back on to your story, more on your side. So you said you started at 20 when you were 20, or did you say 2020?
2018. It was late 2018 is when I started playing out, playing shows. So
where did you go from there? So you started doing shows, or I guess do a little breakdown on how you got to even shows. So I guess how do you promote yourself? Because I know for DJing, it's kind of like, you DJ, but then I feel like it is also promoting. So it's getting yourself out there, getting your clientele and whatnot. So how did you get to those events? Like
definitely. Now realizing exactly what you just said, I've over the years realized how many hats a real like DJ. If you really want to DJ and get to where like when a lot of DJs want to be and where you want to go, you're gonna have to learn to wear a lot of different hats. And promoter is one of the main ones. Every DJ is a promoter, whether they like it or not. Some people fall in love with it, and some people, I've seen people like become DJs, transfer to like promoters, and just because that's kind of, promoter is kind of a natural job. Like if you a promoter, you can't just up it. I want to be a promoter. Promoters know people. Promoters know a lot of people. They know how to get in contact with a lot of people. They know how to network. They know how to socialize. They don't have a problem talking to strangers. Like as a promoter. So like if you fall into that category as a DJ, that kind of helped you with a promoter. So I mean, personally for me, when it comes to that I've always known people. Like I know a lot of people because when when I started DJing, I was in when I started like playing out shows, I was in college, and
okay.
I knew a lot of people like at my school. I knew people at other schools, in a fraternity. So that helped a lot.
Yeah.
That was so like when I say that first show I played in 2019, that was for my fraternity, but at a different school. Like I played it was at UCM in Central Missouri, and one of my fraternity brothers, he bought me out. They were throwing a party, and I was like kind of getting started as like putting myself out there, because what we did, we were throwing the same kind of parties, but we were hiring other DJs. And really it came down to like, as our part of that fraternity, we were like kind of just looking at expenses, and we were like, we're paying them a lot. And everybody knew I DJed in the chapter, but like I didn't play parties, I didn't play out shows. I was they call them basement DJs. I was the guy who practiced. All you do is practice. Like I was, I knew what I was doing. But then it came down to like a split decision. I was like, well, I'm just gonna get equipment. And that was a hell of an investment at the time. It was that number that I spent in literally one day was nuts to me, but I was like, if I do this and I buy all this, I mean, I'm basically gonna buy myself in. So like, I'm not gonna have a choice to, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm too invested now. So I basically kind of just like threw myself off the cliff. I'm like, all right, I'm buying all this, because now if I do that, I know I'm gonna commit myself. Like, I'm gonna go where my money's at. So from there, playing that first show in UCM. And often I look back, there's people ask me, what was your first party and stuff, and I look back at this and, the party went well. I would say the party went well, but like me now, if I were like listen to that set, like what I played back then, I would be like so cringe. It's actually a video of me trying to do like this transition that I practiced for so long, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be the one of the night, like this is kick. And I messed it up so bad. Like it was rough. Like it was nerves, of course, because I practiced it. So I was like, oh, I got this. Like most of my transitions, like fire stuff, the content I'll be catching, it's like it's on the spot. It's like, all right, it just happened. But this, like I was practicing. I was like, this is gonna be the moment, and it was bad. But like overall, things didn't go terrible. But like looking back between then and now, it would definitely be like day and night, because I just really take that improvement seriously.
Yeah, and then after this event, were like people just coming to you, or because I feel like, at least like the way I view it is, when we started our podcast, like yes, we knew people, but then after a while, it's like, oh shoot, like I already got that person. So then it's like, now it's like time to actually go on social media now, like So how was that for you?
The journey of just like growing clientele.
Yeah.
It was really trial and error. Like I said, my fraternity helped a lot, because we were throwing parties already, and a lot of the different schools, like the same fraternity, a lot of the different schools were throwing different parties. Like that's what the fraternities
and that's
do.
When you started off doing the schools?
A lot of it was colleges. And then, other, not just my fraternity, but other fraternities, they kind of would hear me at the same parties. I would network. I always made it a huge deal to network, because that's where your business is going to come from. So like at parties, like I have business cards. People always come to ask you have a card, or they want to talk to you. One thing, completely off subject, but like the people that come to DJs and like have long drawn out conversations under 100 decibel rooms, like when it is loud and you're sitting there in my ear, just, yeah man, and I do it, and I'm like, why are you sitting here like trying to have a full-blown conversation? But like people will do that, and then cards help with that too, because like I'll give you a card, text me, talk to me later, outside of this. And then they kind of, oh, probably I should wait. But but networking, like I said, that was huge. So like really like kind of the treeing or branching off of what you get. So like if I had a gig here, or let's say that party, and I know it's 4 different fraternities in the room, I at least made it a point to talk to 4 different people in those different fraternities, introduce myself, and nothing else. If you don't introduce yourself, that's basically planting that seed. People can do with that as they wish, but just getting out there and letting people know, because no matter what you're doing, like photographer, if you're a DJ, if you're any sort of vendor, people can't patronize you, people can't use you if they don't know that you're there. So putting yourself in front of people's eyes, letting people know, hey, I'm DJ and I'm serious about it, like I really do this, that was like that was so huge. And then it's still like a growing thing. I still get like friends and stuff, like old friends from high school, middle school that like find me on social media. Like, bro, you DJ or that? I'm like, yeah, I really do. Like, yeah.
All right, so a question that I have for you: what advice would you give to an upcoming or like a starting up DJ who's like, you know, trying to like looking up YouTube videos or just wants to start DJing? What advice?
Like practicing, more like.
I mean, if they're at that point where they're like, if they're like looking at YouTube videos and practicing and stuff like that, or have equipment, that's another thing that's investment. Then they're more serious than a lot of people that say, "Oh, I want to DJ." But I want to DJ people, first thing I always do is introduce them to a lot of the negatives. And I just like to be, I'm not a negative person at all.
Yeah, you just like to be real.
Yeah, I'm really optimistic. I'm actually probably more optimistic than I should be sometimes, but I'm always really optimistic. But with that, like, facing reality and being really realistic about stuff.
The zone will be closing in 15 minutes.
Humble beginnings.
We don't run the whole thing back. Or just keep rolling.
No, just keep rolling. We're gonna put that in the podcast. Yeah, so whenever we get our studio, we'll be like, yeah, remember that time? This is the second time. This is the second time.
Bro, be like that. Now y'all got different stuff to work with. That's a huge thing. It just comes to like having stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, I like to be optimistic but realistic too. So I'm gonna point them out to the things that people don't talk about as a DJ, the stuff that's not all, you know, glitter and gold, the stuff that's like sick sometimes. It's like, but if you're willing to, you know, face that, if you really want to be a DJ, if you're willing to work through that stuff and handle adversity, then all means go for it. And I do like to be helpful. I'm not a gatekeeper. It's some DJs that are gatekeepers. They're like, oh, we got enough DJs. It's gonna be enough of everything, no matter what you do. It's gonna be a million DJs if I like it or not. It's gonna be a million rappers or I like it or not. It's gonna be a million photographers or I like it or not. It's how it is. So I'm not gonna just try to stop one person from being at the gate. Because look, my thing, what if I try to stop you and you go around and say, okay, I'll ask somebody else, and then you really work and you have a lot of potential and you become great, and then ever since then, that moment, you're just gonna despise me. Like, everyone's like, oh, I tried to be a DJ with him. They're gonna talk down on me, like on the radio, be forever. I'd be sick. So like, I'm not gonna be the person to kill your dreams. If you really want to DJ, I'll help people as far as, and that's the thing. I'm working with two kind of newer DJs now, and like one of them is kind of she does her own thing. Like she does shows and stuff already, but she's trying to become better, like really like take that next step as far as like technique and like some really DJ strategy and stuff. And I think iron sharpens iron. I have a mentor myself. A mentor, that's another DJ, extremely helpful. So he's always been, like an answer to the questions I have, a resource, encouragement. He's been like that. So I feel like paying that forward is always like, that's my due diligence. So then the other DJ I'm saying I work with, he's a guy who's brand new. Like I started with him, I helped him buy, I didn't pay for it, but I showed him what to get as far as his equipment. I'm like, that's the investment you're going to have to make. You know, starter stuff, stuff to work with, but it'll definitely work. And we work twice a week, like on schedule. Every Tuesday, I just left from him. Probably about an hour ago. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we're practicing. Like he's consistent. He wants to get better. So I'm trying to show him everything I know. He's getting his equipment together. He's working on branding and his business stuff. So
there you go.
Yeah, man. Shout out DJ Yaka. Man. Doing his thing.
That's that question you always ask.
Oh yeah. So what do you see yourself in 2 years from now?
In 2 years from now.
Yeah.
I see myself still in Kansas City, first and foremost. That's the thing that I take pride in.
You like the city?
I do, and I get it. You get a lot of people in Kansas City that they do whatever, whether it's an entrepreneur and they're doing their thing, or it's like in corporate and this that, and you get it's nothing here. You can't do this in the city. You can't do that because Kansas City is small. Everybody's hating. It's the complete opposite. Kansas City is like, I couldn't ask for any better. I know myself first and foremost, and like, where am I gonna go? Like, I don't want to go to like the East Coast because everything is just fast paced. West Coast is crazy cost of living. Like, I could go south, and that's everybody's thing. Go to Texas. I don't want to go to Texas. I don't want to be a DJ in a major city. Like, I honestly don't. I would love to go play in major cities. That's fine. That's beautiful. But like, to reside in like Miami and DJ, that wouldn't be my thing. Like, I like what I do, like I really do, and I like Kansas City. I love Kansas City, so that's the thing. Get back on top of the question. Of course, being in Kansas City still, checked everything off in 2 years, checked all the bigger clubs off, and I'm still like, you know, day by day, week by week, touching new things. I kind of consider it like a map and like checkpointing places, like, you know, get in there, get in the door, you want to play there several times, get a residency maybe even, but like to get there and to have played there once, like that's okay, I've been there, I did that, like, and that's a huge thing for me. It's a lot of like big places on my map in Kansas City, outside of Kansas City, that kind of striving to day by day get yourself closer to getting in that door. So in 2 years, still in Kansas City, and knocked down every door I wanted to in Kansas City, and then starting to branch out more outside of Kansas City, but still live here. So like starting to move around, travel, do more shows. And I do shows outside of Kansas City a lot, but like starting to really
knock out those places too.
Focus on that. Focus on getting outside of Kansas City and
you ever done like
networking.
My bad. You ever done like a show like out of the country, like in Europe or something? Is that a goal?
Yes. I'm saying yes, that is a goal. No time soon, because I'll be honest, all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world right now, traveling outside the country scares me right now. I'll be honest, I don't want to do it right now. It's too much hectic stuff. But yes, in the future, within years, getting outside of the country, that'd definitely be dope. Because it's like bucket lists and stuff, you know, to track outside. Awesome. Getting outside of the state, and of course, you know, we're right on the border. But like when I got outside of Missouri and playing my first thing in Kansas, I was like, you know, now I DJ'd in 2 states. So that was like, and I'll say, like, you know, starting from where you start, and like the more things you can say and stuff you check off your list, the milestones you hit, they mean a lot. Like, and I'm the type, I don't celebrate myself as much as I should, but like you'll hit new places, you'll get new gigs, you'll touch new numbers, you'll up your price, and it's like those are things you celebrate as an entrepreneur. Like you really got to take pride in yourself and take yourself seriously. But yeah, reaching new spots is definitely like cool. I'm getting back up to Iowa. No, you're good. I'm getting back up to Iowa next month.
Next month?
A club up there, because I used to do college stuff up there. You're in St. Joe. You're 2 hours from Iowa, so it's like Kansas across the street. But so like Iowa, that's right there. St. Louis too is the other side, and it's close to Illinois. So networking, I know some DJs out there in kind of East St. Louis and Illinois. So eventually getting out there too, since I'll hit all the states bordering Missouri, and then from there continue to expand. But yeah, it's definitely the plans.
Yeah, I had a question and I lost it.
Oh, see, my bad.
No, you're good.
That's good, bro. Doing some shit in the, like, out of the country should be crazy.
What about, do you ever plan on doing events here in the city? Like just throwing an event or anything like that?
Yes. Continuing with that, I've done that. I've thrown events, and not to say they weren't successful, but they weren't what I imagined. And then the work coming with producing an event, being the producer, the promoter, and the DJ, that's a lot of hats. And how I ran myself thin, like that month when I did that, I threw a party for Black Friday, it was last year in November. I ran myself thin. I mean, it worked out pretty well, but like the kind of stuff that I wish I knew before I got myself into it was like, wow, like I was like, spread thin. Was just kind of doing that stuff. So now, I would say I do want to throw more events in the future, but now, like, knowing now what I wish I knew the first time around, that'll help me, you know, get better with this event. So in the future, definitely.
You ever done DJing at Power and Light?
Not specifically in Power and Light, but I know it's like the area out there, that kind of outdoor area. They have DJs out there too. I know a few of my DJ friends have been out there, but no, that's a cool spot. It's definitely a cool spot. So one of those things, kind of touching bases around the city. That's definitely on the radar.
Most definitely. What's the most proudest one, like in the Kansas City, that you're proud of? Like
proudest in the city, like in Kansas City, or just in general?
In general.
I would say, other than like probably the celebrity shows like K-Stylist and Young Nation, those were really like big for me. The Greek picnics Yeah, the Greek picnics, those are huge because of the numbers that they do, and really.
When did those happen?
So like last year was the 10th. This year was the 10th anniversary. So this is 2012. 2012 it all started, and like it's grown ever since, and really bringing that into Kansas City. You know, I say I love Kansas City. I love kind of the stuff that we do, and the people that travel from around the country to get to Kansas City for KCGP is so cool. And literally, like Swig Park, I live like 4 minutes from Swig Park. So like the way we transform the stage, we're bringing the sound, bringing the stage, and like so many hands on deck to really produce good week of events. Which is the picnic is like one of the last events on the weekend. Okay. But that like the Greek picnic is huge, and like really being able to play behind the scenes and do more and more every year. That's definitely something I'm proud of.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, man, I think we're short on time. It's 49 minutes. We appreciate having you. You're an awesome guest. Like, we love your story. We definitely want to bring you back on more and to talk about more of like the actual, you know, like more in like exact details on what like what motivated you, like you know, and stuff like that.
Definitely
want to bring you back and talk about more stuff like that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to promote so they can follow you and stuff like that?
Yeah, just get with me on my social media. Of course, Swig the DJ on most things. It's SWIGTHE DJ. So Instagram. That's the main one I'm on. So yeah, definitely get on my Instagram. Go from there. Hit the link in my bio.
Okay. Is that do you have like a website, or is that like if somebody wants an event or something like that? Where can they?
A link in my bio.
Link in your bio.
If you go to Instagram, the link in my bio. If you want to type something in Safari as far as a website, my flow page, so flow.page /Swig the DJ.
Okay.
That'll take you right to me. A website is under construction. Should be done by October. That'll be for my whole event company.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a page on the website, which is basically my way of like having a website as a DJ.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
But that's on the way. Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely. Yeah, bro. We appreciate having you. Got anything?
No, I mean, probably gotta talk to him about some ideas that we have in mind. So
We'll talk off camera.
But we appreciate you for coming, and you know, we love seeing what you do for these rappers, and then, you know, as a DJ, like it's amazing how you're promoting yourself. Because like I said, when we went to your page, that's what usually catches our eye, which determines whether we have someone on the podcast or not. So it's good to see that you're promoting, and you can really tell your work on there.
May I have your attention, please? The library will be closing in 30 minutes. If you're expecting a ride, be sure they are contacted.
Call your rides. I love it. That's the bring back to high school days.
Is your ride coming?
My ride's
The zone is now closed. Thank you.
Right, you said it.
We love your work ethic.
Yeah.
So that's what we really looked at and saw that, you know, you're promoting yourself and actually doing something. You know, you're on the come up. I mean, you're probably already.
No. I respect the grind 100%. I do believe you're on the come up. Every step has the step before that and what you're looking at in the future.
Exactly.
Keep moving up. Keep moving forward. Marathon, man. That's really how it is, man. It's cliche, but that's really what it is.
Exactly.
Really is.
Well, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.